Look around you. Life is not a gentle river. It is a turbulent sea. We are promised ease, but we are delivered chaos, financial storms, sudden betrayals, health scares, and the endless, grinding pressure of the daily news. When the tide rushes in, what holds you steady? Most people are unprepared. They react to tragedy with panic, to insults with anger, and to disruption with despair. They are governed by the wind, tossed and turned, desperately clinging to external circumstances that offer no stability. But there is a path to becoming unshakable. There is a way to build an inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that is impervious to the turbulence of the outside world. This is the ultimate freedom, the ability to command your own emotional landscape, regardless of the storm raging outside your walls. Today, we will build this citadel together. We will explore 10 essential, battle-tested practices, principles of ancient wisdom adapted for our modern chaos. These practices are not passive acceptance. They are active muscular resistance to the forces that seek to steal your peace. Your ability to stand firm in the face of inevitable adversity is the greatest power you will ever possess. The complete blueprint for your resilience is revealed across all 10 practices, culminating in the final, most transformative step. So, please stay with us until the very end. And if this journey towards self-mastery resonates deeply within you, if you find value in these truths, please consider subscribing. It is the single most powerful way to ensure you never miss any of our future lessons on cultivating unyielding strength. Practice 1. The Circle of Control. Reclaiming your territory. Your anxiety is simply the distance between the things you think you can control and the things you actually can. We exhaust ourselves fighting battles on the wrong battlefield, arguing with the past, worrying about other people's choices, or cursing the weather. The first practice is to draw your circle of control. Clearly delineate the only things that truly belong to you: your judgments about an event, your intentions behind an action, your effort and your discipline. Everything else, the results, other people's opinions, the market, fate, must be immediately categorized as external noise. When frustration strikes, stop the outward rush of energy. Ask, does this belong in my circle? If the answer is no, treat the event like rain. Accept its reality, adapt to it, and refocus 100% of your energy onto your response. This single act of separation is the foundation of all sanity. Stop spending your limited power on infinite problems. Practice 2. The Pre-Mortem of Loss. Harnessing necessary fear. We fear loss because it blindsides us. The shock of the unexpected is what often breaks our spirit. But what if you could rob loss of its power before it arrives? The second practice is the Pre-Mortem of Loss. This is not dwelling on the negative. It is actively, rationally imagining the challenges that could strike your life. Losing your job, a close relationship fracturing, a financial downturn. By rehearsing these setbacks in the quiet of your mind, you achieve two things. You weaken their shock. When adversity inevitably arrives, it finds you prepared, not panicked. You have already walked through the fire in your imagination. You unlock gratitude by visualizing the loss of your daily comforts, your health, your car, your friend's presence, you stop taking them for granted. The ordinary becomes precious. Fear, when faced deliberately, sharpens you. When avoided, it sabotages you. Practice using the fear of loss as a tool for appreciation and preparation, not a tool for worry. Practice 3. The Ascent of Perspective, shrinking the drama. In the moment of crisis, a nasty email, a public argument, a moment of embarrassment, the event feels total, overwhelming, and permanent. The third practice is the Ascent of Perspective. You must develop the habit of mentally pulling back from the scene of the action to view the entire landscape. Ask yourself 3 questions, each designed to shrink the immediate drama. The time test. Will this specific issue matter in 5 years? Most of the time, the answer is a resounding no. The scale test. How significant is this problem in the scope of my entire life or the history of human struggle? The witness test. If I were a calm, objective observer watching this interaction, what would I advise myself? When you adopt this view from above, the problems that once seemed massive and threatening reveal themselves to be small, transient, and unworthy of the peace you sacrifice for them. Do not allow the small things to occupy the large spaces in your heart. Practice 4. The Veto Power, mastering the pause. The difference between a frantic, regretted reaction and a calm, dignified response is often less than 3 seconds. The fourth practice is the Veto Power, the absolute mastery of the pause. Your emotional reaction, anger, tears, defensiveness, is a conditioned response, a habit hardwired by years of practice. You must interrupt that circuitry. When you feel the surge of frustration, anger, or urgency, you must create a deliberate, conscious gap before you speak or act. Action step. Take 1 slow, diaphragmatic breath. Breathe in for 3, hold for 1, exhale for 4. Mantra. Silently repeat, I am calm. I choose my response. This pause is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate assertion of mental strength. It is you, the rational mind, vetoing the lower, instinctual mind. You are refusing to let external events, insults, or provocations hijack your internal operating system. Practice 5. Amor Fati, the unconditional yes to reality. We spend a tremendous amount of energy wishing things were different. If only I hadn't lost that client. If only they hadn't said that. If only the market hadn't crashed. This internal fight against reality is the definition of futile suffering. The 5th practice is Amor Fati, love your fate. This is not a passive acceptance. It is an active, powerful embrace of everything that happens. Instead of crying, "Why me?" you declare, "This happened for me." It means seeing every setback, every difficulty, every inconvenience, not as an obstacle to be cursed, but as a tool to be used. Lost your savings? You now possess the rare strength of having rebuilt from nothing. Betrayed by a partner? You now possess the necessary clarity to redefine your boundaries and self-worth. Fate is not your enemy. It is the raw material from which your character is forged. When you choose to cooperate with reality, you absorb the energy of the storm and use it to power your sails. Your composure becomes truly unshakable because you refuse to fight the present moment. Practice 6. The daily inventory, the self-accountability audit. Resilience in crisis is not born in the crisis itself. It is forged in the quiet, consistent discipline of your daily routine. The sixth practice is the daily inventory. Dedicate a specific time each day, preferably evening, to a ruthless, honest review of your actions and judgments. Ask yourself the hard questions. Where did I lose control today? Be specific. Traffic? A rude email? A perceived slight? What was the judgment that caused the most frustration? This shouldn't be happening. Did I act with courage and honesty? Or did I give in to comfort or fear? What could I have done differently to remain true to my highest principles? This is not a session for self-criticism, but for self-correction. By holding your own actions accountable daily, you prevent small moral compromises and emotional leaks from accumulating into major crises. Your character is built on what you do when no one is watching. Practice 7. The trivial filter, protecting your time. Your time and attention are finite, precious resources. Most of your daily stress comes from allowing trivial, non-essential concerns to invade and occupy your mind. The seventh practice is the trivial filter. You must cultivate a near-ruthless ability to differentiate between what demands your peace and what simply desires it. When presented with a choice, a worry, or a commitment, apply the filter. Does this contribute to my purpose, my character, or my essential relationships? Online argument, trivial, filtered. Gossip or rumor, trivial, filtered. Obsession over an outdated political opinion, trivial, filtered. By eliminating the 90% of noise that consumes your mental energy, you free up the necessary attention to handle the 10% of real, essential problems with grace and clarity. Wisdom is knowing what to ignore. Practice 8. The weight of mortality, the urgency of meaning. The petty argument you are about to start fades to irrelevance. The essential truth you needed to tell becomes urgent. The meaningful project you postponed becomes non-negotiable. Let the weight of mortality be the judge of your priorities. It is the filter that cuts away the fluff and leaves only what is essential. Do not wait for tragedy to teach you the value of your life. Use the wisdom of death to live fully now. Practice 9. The generosity of truth, kindness with strength. You may fear that being strong and disciplined makes you cold, but true, sustainable kindness requires an unshakable inner core. The 9th practice is the generosity of truth. This means understanding that the kindest thing you can do for yourself and others is to operate from a place of strength, clarity, and boundaries, not neediness or fear. You give help from a full cup, not an empty one. You say no to requests that would drain you, thereby protecting your ability to say a genuine yes when it truly matters. You offer the truth, as you see it, with courage, rather than the comforting lie born of avoidance. A kindness that costs you your integrity or your long-term health is not a virtue. It is a sacrifice born of fear. True generosity flows from a sovereign spirit who has nothing to prove and everything to give. Practice 10. The vow of the Citadel, unconditional self-possession. We have reached the culmination of our journey. The final practice is the vow of the Citadel, the unwavering commitment to your own inner sovereignty. Your inner citadel is now built upon the pillars of control, preparedness, perspective, and discipline. Your final act of strength is to make an unconditional vow to yourself. I will not be governed by the opinions of others. I will not surrender my peace to external chaos. I will not sacrifice my purpose for temporary validation. I will meet every single event in my life with dignity and reason. You have the tools. You have the wisdom. The world will test your walls every single day, with insult, with setback, with temptation. But the power to stand steady, to choose composure over chaos, is yours alone. Nothing external can touch the soul you have disciplined. Go forth and live with unshakable courage. Final call to action. Bring back the empathetic, motivating voice. If these 10 practices have illuminated the path toward your own inner citadel, if you feel the strength building within you, please let us know. Hit the like button. Share this video with a friend or loved one who you know is struggling to find their footing in a chaotic world. And to keep this momentum, to continue building this inner strength every day, please subscribe to our channel. Join our community dedicated to making wisdom an active, practiced way of life. Let your commitment echo in the comments. Write your personal vow. I am the master of my mind. Thank you for joining us on this essential journey.